Council Culture, Session 2 with relationship psychologist Sadia Khan. She's dropping gems with her 3M method. First session, we mastered ourselves. Second one, mastering women. It's going to get interesting. Let's get it. Once again, we are in a safe space and a brave place, not to be canceled, but to be counseled. And I have the honor, privilege, and pleasure of being counseled today, once again in our second session, with the amazing Sadia Khan.
Pleasure is all mine. Always a pleasure.
This is, first of all, you've helped so many people, specifically even men around the world, and your philosophy and your psychology based off of masculinity is what we've been discussing, and your 3M method, which I believe is phenomenal and will help so many men out there. So, you know, tap in with Sadia and her program. You could, what is the website?
Well, it's sadiacoaching.com, sadiacoaching.com, where you can master yourself, then master women, and then master relationships alongside with me along the way.
If you want therapy that lasts a really long time and you build a rapport and you have endless conversations about your childhood and everything that you've gone through for years on end, don't book with me. What you get with me is instant results, instant action plans, and instant insight into what's going wrong in your life and in relationships. And if you want those quick results and want to save yourself a lot of time, energy, and most importantly, money, then you need to click the link below and work with me today.
And it's amazing. In our first session, we were talking about mastering self.
Yeah.
Now our second session is about mastering women. Mm-hmm. And we ended our last session, you asked a very...
Yeah, I was asking your desire to be with different women. Is it changing the woman or changing the sex? Is that what you're looking for when you... So
it's interesting that you, again, because I ask myself this often, and I, you know me, when I'm working on myself, I go seek answers. And I at one point, I thought I might have been addicted to sex, and I went into the therapy. I was like, do I got to go to rehab? What do I got to do? Because people would say that to me, and I was like, I got to understand it, because I honestly don't believe I'm addicted to the physical act, and I've done everything where, you know, practicing abstinence, I mean, even celibacy, which is, those are two different things that I learned and understand, because, you know, celibacy is when you're saving yourself for marriage. And I did that at one point early on in my life through my, you know, walk in Christianity, faith, relationship. There was a time I was engaged to somebody and we're going to save ourselves, and maybe we're going to be celibate, and she cheated on me. But
see what happens when you're faithful?
You see? Exactly. I tried to do it one time. It's her fault. But no, in all seriousness, I realized that I have the ability and the discipline to withstand, and I've done it before. But what I am addicted to is pleasing and attempting to, I want to say this correctly, because I was like the hopeless romantic, but it's more like I'm addicted. I'm in love with being in love. And so I do have those issues with, you know, those early stages of love bombing, the honeymoon, like excitement. I love that. And then I know I've learned that can't last forever. And it's like, so it looks like at times it probably can be manipulative, because I'm going to pour it on thick at the beginning because of the chase, because of the newness, because of the desire. And like, oh wow, I met a beautiful woman, I'm going to send her flowers. I'm going to find out what her favorite perfume is and her favorite designer. It's going to show up in the boxes. Like, I'm literally like, The Notebook is my favorite movie. Like 50 Shades of Grey was like one of my favorite books. Like, I'm trying to be that guy. And be every woman's desire.
Are you addicted to her falling in love with you?
I think I am.
Okay.
I think that's, and like that goes back into the pleasing aspect. So even when it comes to sex, like I'm usually like, it's not good sex if she isn't pleased to ecstasy. Like I have to be like, yo, nobody put it down like that ever before in life. And that's when I'm like, okay, if it's about me, I can do without it. Like I can reach my peak in 30 seconds by myself in the shower if I need to. You know, like I'm not that. To me, that's not intimacy.
Why does her falling in love with you matter so much?
I don't know.
Yeah, why does that matter?
I don't know. Like even I was like, does it go revert back to my upbringing and child? I don't know. I mean, I definitely grew up in a unorthodox
Did you grow up with,
household.
when you were really young, like teenage years, did you get many girls? Were they
Absolutely.
So
And
was
it's
it an
always
access-
come really easy.
It's never
It's
been a
always
lack of access.
I was the kid, like, you know, I was in kindergarten. The girls were chasing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've just been somebody that always had a love for women, and they usually love me back. Like, so I've never had an issue. I never had a problem. I've always, other than, I mean, obviously my issue and problem became like too much. You know what I
No.
mean? Like, as I call it, access to excess.
Yeah.
And then when that gets, you know, too much of anything, it's just like not enough. So finding that balance is what I've been dealing with. But like, if we're now talking about mastering
Yeah.
women, like
Yeah.
I feel like I have mastered women.
Yeah.
Like I love them. Like I think Tupac said he wanted to sit down and meet with Prince because he loved women the same way that Prince loved. So I want to sit down with both of them in heaven because I could be like, guys, Prince, Pac, and Nick,
Yeah.
we the same. We love women at that
you like
level,
but
though a worship level,
Okay.
like
you
in-
worship them, like at some stage?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In that like reverence, like honor, like wanting to please and do everything I possibly can. But then my issue is once I feel like I got you where I want you, then my attention is to the next one to
Okay.
worship. And it's like that obviously
And
no
then
one wants to be in a relationship
But then do you
with
find
someone
yourself
like that.
more attached to then toxic women when that happens? Because those women are harder to kind of impress, or does that not really happen?
I don't believe any women are toxic.
You don't think so?
I think that term, well, and I guess because that term has been thrown at me so much that I believe women can be emotional and at times overly emotional, and I value that. I
Yeah.
value a woman's emotion. I value a woman's intuition. All that passion. Like I'm one of those that I was like you so cute when you yell. You know what I mean? Like I'm that guy. Like
Yeah.
you turn me on when you're mad at me. Like I value
Yeah.
a woman's energy and passion and emotion, and especially like I can also take accountability. Like if I fuck up, I know I'm gonna come. I came home late. She gonna be mad. Then
Yeah.
I get to the challenge accepted. I get to try. I'm gonna rub your feet. I'm gonna do all of the things to
Okay.
kind of get you unmad. Like I like that process. Like I'm drawn to that type of energy.
Okay.
So I'm just, and I know I've been really good at it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing where, you know, the average person from the outside looking in, like, why would 6 women agree to do that with him? Or, he ain't that cute. Or, he ain't amount of money in the world would make
Yeah.
me like, but the level of love
That
and
you give
care
them.
that I attempt to put forward,
Yeah.
I really feel like that's one of my goals in life is to like, yo, how can I please this person? How can I give her everything that she's ever wanted? Especially now when I know I'm dealing with like, you're under public scrutiny because of a scenario that I put you in. So what can I possibly do to make your life better?
Okay. So are you generally a pleasure seeker rather than a peace seeker? Because men in this position, what ends up happening is they seek pleasure rather than peace. So they would much rather be in a stimulating environment. They need to be excited. They need to enjoy. They need dopamine rather than serotonin. So everything that's pleasure, 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 that's what they're drawn towards. But they actually find peace unsettling. So when things get calmer, when there's not so much dopamine, and it's actually just a slow release of serotonin, they feel discomfort. They're pleasure seekers rather than peace seekers. And even if you see them on their spare time, they can't just sit with themselves and just be at peace. They kind of need some stimulation. They need to be working, need to be thinking. So if you're a pleasure seeker as a man, you're going to find that in relationships, that as it becomes peaceful and it turns into a more monotonous relationship, you crave the dopamine, and then it will either lead to fights or replacements.
Wow.
Does
I
that
think
happen?
you broke it all the way down. The only thing I would say, I think in my nature,
Yeah.
the first 40 years of my life, absolutely a pleasure seeker. Like that is who I am in my business, and I'm the jovial. You know, even one of my therapists said, I'm like, it's like the forever young boy wonder. Like that's optimistic, wide-eyed Peter Pan. Like that's I've like never want to grow up. Happy being young and adventurous. Like that's always been me. But now, because of a lot of my decisions
Yeah.
and mistakes and the exhaustion of the
Yeah.
life. Like, now I just want peace.
Now you're getting
I
there.
think now I'm getting to that space of like, you know what? How can we just calm this down? And that's as a father of 12. Like,
Have you managed to master how to be peaceful, or what? Is it still something?
nah. Like, I think that,
Peace is super easy. All you have to do in order to achieve true peace in your life is every single decision you make sure that there is no chance of any guilt, shame, or regret. Every decision, even your food you eat, is there any guilt, shame, or regret if I eat that? If the amount of alcohol you drink, is there any shame afterwards? Or if there's women that you select, is there any chance that you're going to regret this decision with this woman? If there's any chance of regret, people who have peaceful lives just don't do regrettable decisions. They monitor their choices in their life, and they make decisions on a day-to-day basis that practice self-control so they don't regret the repercussions of their actions. So peaceful is only achieved by the right decisions that you make, morning to night, in every area of your life, with women, with money, with your food, with your body, everything. They simply make decisions that they won't regret, and they achieve peace in life.
wow. Can you see how simple she puts it?
Yeah,
Makes
even
it like,
your money, like you just spend it in peaceful ways, means just simply you won't regret it. Even if you buy something silly, but you know you can afford it, it's not a regrettable decision. But if it's going to put you at a loss, it's going to cause any regret, you simply don't do it. And particularly with women, the men that suffer the most when it comes to women is they're such pleasure seekers. They seek a woman that they just like, they lust after her. The problem is a lot of the time those women that they lust after, every man lusts after, yeah? So there's lots of competition, and then they might get the wrong woman pregnant, or they might end up marrying the wrong woman. She's then stealing all his money. She's then releasing videotapes of what they did. She's then extorting him and this, that, and the other, and they're filled with shame and regret afterwards. They can't have a peaceful life like that.
right.
So if you select women that there's even a 10% chance you're going to regret it, she's going to ruin your life if you get on the wrong side, you can never have a peaceful life. But when you choose women that even at her worst, she still behaves in a way and carries herself in a way that will respect you and your family, you won't regret that woman and you won't regret that decision. You'll have a peaceful life.
Y'all hear that? She just gave us the sauce. She just gave us the keys.
And that's like with these men that date these really a lot younger girls, or the women that they're just trying to have sex with, and then she releases tapes, or she releases this, that, and the other. You probably knew from day one, this girl, if you get on the wrong side, you're going to regret this. You still did it. So now your life is never going to be peaceful when you make regrettable decisions with women.
Let's dig deeper with that, because it's, what is that about? And like, is that ego? Is that sexual desire? Because there's something about men at every stage. They're, whether they're looking on OnlyFans, whether they're actually, you know, desiring relationships with, as you say, whether it's younger women or even women in a different
Demographic, like culture, race.
yeah,
anything.
because even, you know, we've even discussed that before too, because specifically in the Black community, the idea and it makes a lot of sense where it's like you should maintain dating within your community. There's a safety in Black men being with Black women, but for whatever reason, you know, Black men often date outside of their community and have no problem dating, you know, all types of women. So then we get the stigma a lot of times of one not wanting our own Black women, which I don't believe is true at all. But because we make decisions outside of our culture and our right, then we like, oh well, you wouldn't mess with that white girl. Whatever happens to you, good, you know, good riddance. And it's
it's like it's your own fault for choosing outside of your culture. But what I would say, and I think this is a really unfair rap that Black men get, is I grew up with lots of Black men. I grew up in London, lots of Black men, and it's not the case of that they like other races or they don't like Black women. It's just that they have access to every other race. Other races want them. Now there are Chinese billionaires.
Say it again. Say it loud.
It's not their fault. Other women want them, and I say this like I'm growing up in London. I moved to Dubai, and honestly, you can be an Arab girl, Chinese girl, white girl. You can be Hispanic. They'll all date Black men. But now, when it comes to there's Indian men that are billionaires. There are Chinese men that are billionaires. They stay in their own race. Now, is that entirely because they, love their race, or is it because they don't have universal appeal? So the fact that black men are
She said
dating outside of their race, it's not because they love other races. I actually think they like black women more than anything.
Yeah.
It's just that other women flock to them and don't let them stay within their own race. I really don't. I see so many women whose dream is to have a child with a black man, or they just want a black man more than anything else. And they dream about it, they think about it, and even when they date white men, they'll talk about so like, what do you expect? It's not the same. They're not sitting there having conversations with their white guy and saying, "Can I get a hall pass for a Chinese man?" They're not saying that. So is it really black men choosing white women, or is it that other? I don't believe it's their choice to be with other women. I think other women don't let them live like with just black women. And I think if you give a black man a choice, they will usually choose black women.
Yeah.
They usually will choose black women. Or if they go to other races, it's because she has black women features. It's not
Right.
really because, so they love their blackness. It's just that we all love your blackness. And so you don't get a choice.
I would have to agree with you.
Yeah, because I just don't like even when they say things like, "Oh yeah, the black men sleep with so many women and they're never faithful." Sorry, Bob, in your house, you would love to be unfaithful. You just can't. So, like,